Oh, the suddenness of the door slamming open stops any and all noise. It's quite enough to hear a pin drop. The figure walks into the classroom and, oh my goodness, we are back with more I Want to Hug That Gator. All right, let me get my sips of water in because you know there's a lot of reading in this game. The computer lab is in an offshoot room from our library. As for the library itself, aside from an expected emphasis on anatomy, drawing guides, and the like, it's pretty standard. Not to brag, but the school I was at for my freshman and junior years had a library with 2 floors. You're bragging. Probably should have read a thing or two with all those resources. Yeah, probably should have. I'm getting off topic. The computer lab is the focus. The calm tranquility of the library is overtaken by the organized sterility of the lab. 40 standardized sets of computers and monitors line the walls, forming a piticon. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce that, y'all. I don't even really know what that means. I'll have to look it up when I'm editing the video. Because I don't know what that means. Around the desk reserved for the teacher in the middle. Huh, okay. I remember them being organized differently in elementary school, but for a few years now, I've just been seeing this formation. Sounds to me like someone got caught one too many times working on more risque art pieces. The monitors are all turned on, but only one's logged in. Weird, there's nobody here. Damien and Ben said Liz would be here, though. Maybe she's in the bathroom. I'm not one to pry and snoop around, but I'm really pressed for time here. On screen, I see open PDFs and documents. They look finance-related and filled with abbreviations and jargon I don't understand. Maybe I can figure out how to create my account on my own. I don't know that you should do that. Whoa. What are you doing? Okay. Ah! Okay, I'd be scared too. Like, what? What is happening? Haunted high school? I didn't mean to scare you. Oh, thank Christ. It's just a dino girl with an extremely long neck and not a specter. No, really, what were you doing to the physical report I was working on? I didn't do anything. Oh, I've been working on that all day. What did you touch? Or why did you touch it? I didn't. I only minimized it, I swear. Right. I'm here for a reason. Are you Liz? The Bronchiosaurus ferociously reopens all her windows and for a while types out some information before acknowledging me again. Excuse me? Damien told me about you. Ben sent me. I'm gonna go with Ben sent me because most people know who Ben is, right? He's a very important figure in school, and I think that's the more reliable source. I wanted to submit something for that art contest going on, but I don't have my school login info yet. Ben told me you'd be able to help. Ben, huh? Well, Ben and Damien? She mumbles something beneath her breath and turns her head back to me. Uh-oh, maybe that wasn't a good one. Yeah, I'm Liz. Whoa. Inco? But yeah, I'm new here, so I need an account? Not a problem at all. Liz sits down and cracks her knuckles as she starts typing away at the keyboard. All right, I'll see if I can get that done for you. In a flourishing display of spreadsheet software experience, Liz navigates and organizes several documents in seconds. I've always had the general idea that there were a lot of shortcuts and commands, but yeesh, she's resourceful. So, you're an artist too? Hmm, since you want to enter the contest so bad. Oh, yeah, I'm a photographer. Yeah? How are you liking it here so far? Well, students here usually jump to asking about what they're graduating here for so they can more easily form connections and collaborate. So excuse me if I might be going too fast. No, not at all. I'm a bit more at ease now that you just explained it. I'm pretty good, although I feel bad about missing most of the first day. It's not a big deal. Guess not. Although, truth be told, I see those paintings framed in the hall by the principal's office, and it does put a bit of rain on my parade. Oh, those? Yeah, I get what you mean. I think it's like that by design, honestly. Something about breaking the students' egos. Then you end up wanting to improve like crazy so you can reach your goals. At least, that's what happened to me. I'm planning on going to university and getting degrees in design and business. And that's just the start. I'm also starting to become an apprentice for art dealings, getting the right paintings for the right people. My tutor said I'm impressive enough I should start enrolling for any and all the important universities around the country I'd like. Wow. I mean, I'm also pretty well off myself, but it never occurred to me that I should be this ambitious. Thank you. What about you? Let's see, I'm going to be an influencer blogger and be crazy popular. I'm going to publish a photography magazine. I don't know, but it's going to be big. I'm going to go with I'm going to publish a photography magazine. Well, it's something. That came off a little dismissive, I'm not gonna lie. At least more than a lot of people here. Well, thank you. What do you mean? Like half the school may as well just be in a daycare. Sorry if that sounds rude. We've got these school programs and even industry professionals coming in for lectures, but it's like some people are here just because their friends happen to be here too. No big plans, it seems. Yeah. Wait, you mean like Damien? Yeah, I shouldn't have mentioned it. He's still cool though. Don't get me wrong. I hope me talking about him to you like this doesn't come across as douchey. He's definitely the friendly type. He even partnered with me in gym class and dragged me along to sit with him at lunch. Is that so? Yeah, he was really excited about it too. And then he introduced me to Olivia as well and tried to break the ice so he can come out of her shell. Oh, so she can come out of her shell. Yeah? How'd you know? Oh boy, I'm sorry about that, Inko. What, is Damien messing with me? No, Damien's great. He's just maybe a little too eager. If he considers you a friend to him, he'll want to be your friend too. What? Oh, okay. Sometimes I'm reading these and I'm like, wait, what? Did I just comprehend the sentence? Okay, so we're gonna read this again, and I'm gonna say it because now I actually know what I said. He's just maybe a little too eager. If he considers you a friend to him, he'll want you to be our friend too. Specifically, he'll want you to be Olivia's friend. What's wrong with that? Nothing at all. But you've seen Olivia. You can probably tell she's a bit unresponsive. Doesn't really like to talk to anyone, not even Damien. So you can definitely try to be her friend, but just know that she'll most likely ignore you. You don't like Olivia? What? No, I do. She's fine, I guess. I sit with her during lunch after all. And I'm sure you'll get along with us just fine. And hey, I'd love to see Olivia make a friend. Just Don't get too invested trying to get her to warm up to you. Damien will always be down to hang out though, and I certainly don't mind. It's just that him and Olivia are nigh inseparable, so if the deal turns you off, then it's not your fault either. There's history to that warning. Inseparable? So they're like girlfriend and boyfriend? No. They just live in the same house. Oh, that's what I said. Damien's also just incredibly patient and outgoing. I envy him. But yeah, he would like nothing more than everyone getting along like best buddies. Unless you're like Damien and you can be pleasant to a brick wall forever, your time is probably better spent elsewhere. So, how serious are you about your ambitions? Pretty serious, I think. Liz nods. Something to keep in mind then. It's a struggle, but like Damien says, we gotta keep trying, right? Liz gave me a half-hearted smile, but she still seems sad about something. Anyways, sorry for talking your ear off about private matters. You still want to get that submission turned in? She stops for a second on one tab to scan for something. And got it. She motions her head to the back of the room at the printer as it hums to life. I get up and get the paper. Both my username and password here are strings of numbers. I take a snapshot of the username and the password so I won't have to remember it. Thanks. Anyways, you should hurry. Lunch is ending soon. Thank you, Liz. She's cool. Right, according to the time display on the monitor, I've only got 10 minutes left. I follow the instructions on the printout, finally getting to the student hub of the site. And thankfully, the art contest is displayed prominently across it. Clicking through a couple of links, I finally find the submission instructions. It's simply a matter of putting entry details as the name of the file and dragging it into the school's shared drive. Plugging into my portable portfolio hard drive, I create a copy of my magnum opus. Then a quick rename, drag it here, and just in time. I take the extra minute to safely undock my hard drive and then log off the computer. Looking back to Liz, she's completely wrapped up in her work. Don't think interrupting her is a good idea. Yeah, probably not. Especially after what she said about Olivia and our own time. Yeah, she's right. I opt to simply leave her be, heading out of the room and the library for class. After all, it's time for the class I've been looking forward to most. Bye, Liz. This day is certainly turning out better than yesterday. Sure is, because gosh, first day was rough. Hope I didn't just jinx it for myself. Okay. My nerves have been acting up when I first stepped back into the classroom. Made even worse when I was hit with another flashbang. Oh my gosh, this dude. After my 20 other classmates had finished laughing, Mr. Adakan made a show of waving a freshly taken photo from a fancy fold-up camera from the 70s. I dubbed this portrait Dupatant Sans Police. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that. That's just how it came out. After he thumbtacked the shot on a corkboard filled with poor snapshots of everyone else, Mr. Adakan reassured me and sat me right next to Ben. He managed to sum up his syllabus in under a minute, instead taking the majority of the time to go over our first lesson and assignment on exposure and lighting. With each new light fixture he brought out and explained, I felt my mind swirl faster with new possibilities of old shots. If only I had that then, or if I could have used that there. Now that you've had a small taste of it, we'll start on your first photography assignment, proper lighting. I'm salivating at the thought. Mr. Adakin had just finished his first lesson where he'd handed out all sorts of equipment to look over. It's the first time I've handled some of these things, like the enormous box light that was still taking up the entirety of my desk. Remember though, that these are just tools meant to enhance the photo. You can highlight a turd all you want. It's still a turd. The crude language guarantees a chortle from the few half-listening students. Exactly. The teacher looks over to the clock and hums. Well, I see that we managed to finish this lecture a tad bit early. Why don't you all take these last 10 minutes to compare notes? Maybe even consider doing the assignment as a collab piece with a classmate. Okay, the room is quick to fill with the sound of chatter. I wonder if Hey! I turn to Ben and see his eager grin. Do you want to do a joint piece, since you don't know any good spots in school and all? I pull out the assignment sheet from beneath the lightweight I pull out the assignment sheet from beneath the lightweight light on my desk and give it a quick scan again. Present a set of photos demonstrating your understanding of proper lighting. You are allowed to borrow one lighting tool and must take the shot on school premises. And I swear I've handed out this assignment for years now. If one more student just takes a picture of the hallway outside the classroom, I'm going to personally throw them over the railing. Be original, please. I've got the perfect place for it. If we work together, we can even use 2 items. Oh, that's a good point. The offer is too tempting. Sure. I hold out my hand and Ben takes and shakes it, sealing the pact. My face is feeling weird from all the smiling today. But in truth, I've been enjoying Mr. Idekin's class so much that I couldn't stop. It feels like I've the entire world to gain from Mr. Idekin's lessons. And the entire world to explore, seeing as ever since the move, I haven't had time to actually explore Volcadera Bluffs. Sure, on occasion I go out on my own to parks and stuff, but who doesn't? Besides, it'd be pretty lame Besides, I'd be a pretty lame photographer if I didn't go out and find stuff to photograph. And you know what? I've been meaning to do a little more looking around. So to everyone else, this assignment makes them have to explore the school, but I get it too. Pretty sweet deal if I do say so myself. The hall outside the classroom is only one major photo op. Between that and the murals outside, I'm certain to find something cool. No, the murals won't work on their own. Since it was just my first thought to use them, that means it's likely someone else's first thought. I need to think outside the box a bit. Think of some ways to use the school's architecture to my advantage in that way. In a way that... Inko! My thoughts are disrupted by a worried-looking Ben. Maybe you should see a doctor, man. Head injuries are no laughing matter. I'm fine. What are you saying? I was asking how you were doing. You know, with the school and classes now. Oh, right. Doing good. Really good, actually. I'm in a class that I'm 100% enjoying and starting to make some genuine friendships. Compared to the disaster of yesterday, today has been astoundingly positive. That's good to hear. Yeah, I've even got some friends now. Great. Oh, and what about your art submission? Was Liz able to help? There's something nibbling at the corner of my thoughts at the mention of the long-necked girl. Yeah, she gave me my login stuff and everything. Uploading the submission was a piece of cake after all. Awesome, though that does make you competition now. Both Liz and I have pieces in the running too. She told me she had submitted something, yeah. I'm a bit concerned since I didn't have as much time as all of you to prepare anything, but hey, everyone's got a chance, you never know. Yeah, she was pretty cool about it too. That whole friend group is pretty welcoming. I think I'm pretty lucky. Lucky? Ben seems perplexed by my statement. You said something at lunch when Olivia vanished? I'm noticing for a silent paraplegic, she sure has a lot of people upset. You got some hidden drama with her too? No, not really. Wait, two? Who? Idekin calls out to us, striding over to inspect. I take it you two gentlemen are conversing about your assignment together? Oh, of course, Mr. Idekin. We were just discussing where we take our picture. Right, Ben? Well, that's good then. Good thing you guys weren't talking about something off topic like gossip. That would be pretty embarrassing use of your time right off the bat, I think. Especially considering you're currently the subject of some fairly humorous gossip, aren't you, Mr. Nito? Oh, that's true, huh? I'm awash in a wave of shame from his words. I look at Ben, and I can see he feels it as well. If the air around someone needs clearing, clear it yourself. Idekin has a point. Maybe once a friendship is established, I can learn more about her. All right, off you go now. And remember, you get your assignment done by the end of the week. The room empties out slowly. Most of my peers still chatting and discussing their plans for the assignment. Before I can continue talking with Ben about our own project, the stucco president is already packed up and exiting the room. Guess we'll talk later then. Packing up my own notebook, I wave goodbye to my new favorite teacher and head off to my next class. Walking into history class for the first time, and it's about what I expect it to look like. Pictures of historical figures, small relics from various regions, and cartography of the Earth during its stages of continental drift. Though I notice that there's a distinct lack of a teacher in the classroom. Must be finishing up their lunch, I assume. Well, better get a good seat now before they're all taken. Eeny, meeny, miny, this one. I settle myself into my chosen desk and pull out my history book and notebook along with a pencil. As the classroom fills with more and more students, it becomes a blur of vibrant scales. A few minutes pass, and I'm still wondering where the teacher is. Oh. The suddenness of the door slamming stops any and all noise. It's quite enough to hear a pin drop. The figure walks into the classroom and, oh my goodness, look who the history teacher is, y'all. Oh, sweet heaven, no. He stands there and stares down at me menacingly. He's the history teacher too? Thanks for walking me to class, Sully. Okay, so he's not the history teacher. Of course, Miss Prockling. Oh, thank Raptor Jesus. He isn't our teacher. The Raptor woman adjusts her glasses as she scans around the room before looking down at the paperwork in her hand. Looks like we'll all have some late arrivals and wait, but let's oh my gosh, I'm like seeing words that aren't there. Looks like we'll have some late arrivals, but let's get down to business. I know that I introduced myself yesterday, but for any of those who weren't here, her momentary glance at me makes me believe Sully told her about my absence. He probably did. My name is Miss Prockling, and this is history class. In this course, we'll be learning about the history of our primeval ancestors and their advancements through history. You can even say that it'll be like going back in time. Doesn't that sound exciting? Despite her admittedly forced enthusiasm, everyone in class responds with uninterested murmuring. Not sure why though, this all sounds exciting. Sigh. She walks over to her desk and places down her pile of folders before flipping open her own special version of the history book. With a click of a button, she also turns on the projector to reveal a prepared slideshow for today's lecture. To learn about the extensive history of Saurians and their culture is something I've yearned for. If you can turn your books to page 36, we'll begin with the first chapter detailing the earliest interaction between Saurians and hominids. Oh, that sounds interesting. I think I jinxed myself. Miss Prockling's history class is the polar opposite of Ideken's photography class. While her introduction to the class engaged me at first, things have slowed down into an unbearable slow crawl. My eyes scan over the introductory text of the first chapter. Despite the tension between the two groups, human settlers to the New World will continue to make overtures of trade to the native velociraptor tribes. Pretty sure I've read this line 3 times now. I tear my eyes away from the page in the hopes of blinking the boredom away. I look up to see the teacher staring down at various papers on her desk with laser focus. I must have stared too long though, because I end up locked in a staring contest with Prockling. She raises an eyebrow at me. Okay then, write down notes of pages 3 through 7 about the discovery of the New World. Without even fully comprehending the words before me, I'm copying the page down to the letter in my notebook. Absent-mindedly, I begin to recall everything that happened so far with my new classmates. Ben carries himself with a lot of refinement and is easily my first pick as a photography partner. But that Mia girl, she doesn't seem to want to make friends. Of course, I could have figured that out on my own from the cold look she gave me yesterday, not to mention the rude hand gesture. Damien's very friendly, even if he can be a bit too enthusiastic sometimes. And though my encounter with Liz was brief, I can tell she's dependable. My progress in making friends has been pretty good, all things considered. But then there's Olivia. So far, she's still an enigma, and coupled with the apparent history she has with the others, it makes me all the more curious about her. Liz said it would be a bad idea to get invested, but in the end, it's effectively gossip and hearsay. This had come as something of a shock to me, but... And what do we have here, Mrs. Halford? The sudden voice of Miss Prockling snaps me out of my thoughts. I lean my head to see the teacher looking down at... Wait a minute, Olivia's here too? As luck would have it, I share not 1, but 2 classes with Olivia. I must have been so jaded from trying to read this textbook that I didn't even notice the girl in the wheelchair. She sits in the front row diagonally in front of me. And I don't think she noticed this strange twist of fate herself. Only the second day of school year and already doodling in class again? Well, she got caught doodling. She proceeds to pick up the piece of paper from Olivia's desk. Looks like she's been drawing on it, though I can't tell what they are from where I'm sitting. Listen, Olivia, I know history isn't the most exciting subject to learn, but could you at least pretend that you're taking notes? The only response I hear from Olivia is a heavy sigh before leaning her head back down. While the teacher returns to sulking around the room, Olivia hunches over a notebook. Although I don't think those are notes she's taking. Nah, no one would do something like that with a totalitarian teacher patrolling the room. It's an attempt to get all of us to focus, but I'm fighting a losing battle to keep my eyelids from shutting. He's tired. My jaw is clenched tight to suppress the loud yawn building inside, even as Miss Prockling skulks right past me. Just before my drowsiness can take over me, though, I notice minute movement in the corner of my eye. One of my classmates glances up at the teacher, whose eyes are roving over the opposite side of the room and down to scribble something down. The paper is then folded into a neat little note, and I watch as the next person carefully unfolds the sheet and also scribbles on it, before folding and passing it along again. Curiosity thoroughly piqued, I await anxiously in my seat for the paper to get to me. It's a dangerous game passing the note along so Prockling doesn't see. If I'm participating, doesn't that make me a slacker? The student to my side makes his move to toss the note over. But Prockling starts turning around right then. He flinches and drops the hot potato on my desk in a flash. I nearly slam my own paper over the page to cover it from sight. Miss Prockling continues to lecture about how the raptors and humans eventually started to get along because they traded narcotic leaves. What? Or something like that. Oh my gosh. And as you can see on the board here, now. I lift my paper. Luckily, there's plenty of space left. As for what everyone else had drawn, a not so solid attempt at a race car. Rough sketches of some eyes, a bunch of doodles, names in various stylized fonts that I could only describe as graffiti, and, of course, it's not high school if someone hasn't drawn a penis. Oh, gosh. Miss Prockling with stink lines coming off of her. Yeesh, better not get caught with this. You better not. That being said, I'm drawing a blank. What should I draw? I don't exactly doodle every day. Drawing stuff for others is a nice gesture. Maybe I'll try to break the ice a bit. Although I don't really know anything about her. Hey, can't hurt to try though. Yeah? I can think of a few things to sketch out here. Let's see. I get to actually sketch, y'all. I get to actually sketch. I get to actually do it. Now, I hate sketching with a mouse, but, you know, it's okay. But I hate doing it. Let's make a, I don't know what we making. I don't want to spend too much time on this because that's what ends up happening. Wait, I don't know what I'm making, y'all. Hold on. Start again. Begin again. And get through it. Okay, now I'm ready. Okay. I think I know now. I don't really know. I'm just like talking. I'm just talking. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm just talking. I don't really know what I'm making or why. Okay, I'm just making whatever. Whatever speaks to me in this moment is what's being made. Which ain't much. I'm just being honest. You know? I don't know what I'm making. Let's say this is a flower, okay? Let's say it's a flower, because I said it is. I'm going to take some of this off, because it's a lot. It's a lot. What the? Okay, back to this. Okay, let's... Okay? Let's say it's a flower. There we go. Let's say it's a flower, okay? And then we gotta sign it. There we go. Done. And done. I didn't have a lot of room to really work with, but as I surreptitiously admire my work, I find that I have a long way to go. I feel like I'm being mogged down by other doodles. All right, Olivia's sure to like this. Miss Prockling is still turned around. All right. If I slip the paper over Olivia's shoulder, I won't have to get up and risk getting caught. This is not smart. And here we go. It's a bit tricky and I hesitate, but the paper beats its destination. She doesn't even look back, just takes the paper eagerly. Aw. It's completely different from how she was acting earlier. Her tail is even swaying side to side. Oh, is that wagging? Huh. All right, now she's gonna see my sketch and possibly think I'm cool. She's not turning around. Well, it's not much, so it could also just... I'll be taking that. Uh-oh. Miss Prockling snatches the paper from Olivia's claws. She holds her arms out. She's taking a glance at the paper, and a small crack of a smile appears on her face before going back to its stoic visage. So, is this how you view me, Miss Holford? Prockling holds the paper up for all to see. She didn't even draw that stuff. Everyone in the class does their best to avoid her persecuting gaze. I know that most of you were a part of this as well. Look, I'm not asking for much. Please do your assignments when you're in class. It's the least you can do. We were just passing a note one at a time. She wasn't even paying attention. Yeah, how come all of us are in trouble? I noticed Prockling looking down at Olivia for a moment before letting out a sigh of defeat. Look, since it's only the second day, I'll let this one slide, but I'm warning you now that I won't be so lenient the next time it happens. Otherwise, you'll end up like the last student who decided to be disruptive during class. Pfft. What happened to him? Get a detention slip or something? Who knows? Probably got the PE teacher on him. Miss Prockling pulls up the window blinds and pushes the window screen open. She then takes out a walkie-talkie. Solly, yep, another hippie. Seat H4. I knew it. That's who she called. I knew she was gonna call him. Oh my gosh. Good job, soldier. That's what she has him do? Oh my gosh. Now, if we can, let's continue. We were on the second floor. I sink back in my seat and continue writing, mainly out of unadulterated fear of experiencing the same wrath from the teacher. That's right. Man, now I feel guilty for Olivia. I was the one to pass her the note after all. Maybe I shouldn't have tried. Well, I can always apologize after class. Miss Prockling placed the note and continues with her lecture for another half hour. With 10 minutes of class left, I see Prockling look at the clock above the door. I then notice Olivia grabbing her attention, and as if she knew what she's already going to say to her, the teacher nods her head. Olivia grabs her backpack and shoves all her things into it. In silence, she wheels herself to the door, opens it, and rolls out. The teacher must have noticed me watching her leave. Accommodations? Well, there goes my chances of saying sorry to her. Feeling defeated, I decide to focus on writing down my notes for the rest of the time left. Although I do wonder, She must have noticed my doodle. Did she just ignore it then? Class comes and goes, and I head back home on the metro. Another day, another dollar. Though this time I pass on the mini breakfast burritos. Right, because of what happened last time, no mini breakfast burritos. After how bad they messed me up during PE yesterday, exactly, we learned our lesson. I don't want my stomach to endure that torture again. Instead, just got a few hash browns from a fast food joint by the metro. Okay, I don't know if that's a better choice. I think we're missing the point. I idly scroll through my feed as I usually do while the metro jostles about to my destination. It's been a few days now, and the strange scent of extremely cheap detergent and alcohol have become an afterthought. Some of the vines are actually plastic, and the flowers are little air fresheners. That's not actually something I noticed, more so witnessed when a passenger tried eating one. Some of the vines are real though. For some reason, they go untouched anyways. Maybe they're just not tasty. Vegetarians don't eat the grass in their lawns after all. Right? Huh? He's back. Anyways, the lights have gone out and someone just dropped a wrecking ball next to me. Must be Mr. Ferris. Hi, Mr. Ferris. Good morning, Inko. Good morning. Has work been going fine? It has. Slowly, but I'm very thorough. I hate the idea of a place of learning not being an ideal place to learn. And I appreciate our talks. Your perspective has really helped me understand the student body more. You're welcome. Hey, have you given any more thought to the fashion thing? I have, although I can't say I really get it. There's plenty to see everywhere if you just look around. Really? Like what? Well, like, look at the girl on the other end of the car there. Okay. It's like, all right. It's rather revealing. I don't think that's really for me. I love my wife. That's right. He loves his wife. I just mean as an example. Well, there's an event coming up. I could see about trying something new. What would you recommend? That's a good question. What would be good to use here? Oh, they're going to ask me? In my inner eye, I conceptualize the coolest possible Ferris. The fresh machine is going full throttle. First, sunglasses. His eyes may be a little too far apart for that. I was just about to say that. I don't think that's going to work. However, beanie? Yeah, I'm a say no. Moving on. Big guns, fresh jacket. There we go. The coolest possible Ferris. Why does he have a bun? What is happening? Yeah, no, I'm not a fan. Mr. Nito. Sorry, just thinking. Why don't you start with radio frosted glass dim room sunglasses, cotton refab beanie. No beanie. No, we're not recommending no beanie. Okay, the beanie's out. Malcolm seasonal cross print jacket. Dim room sunglasses, but I don't know if that's enough. What cross print? Let's go with the jacket. Something like that he'll actually wear. Because I don't see him wearing sunglasses like that. Let's start with that. Really now? Those all sound rather expensive. Yeah, they are. You know what? Try a gold chain necklace. A what? Yeah, just make sure it's appropriately sized so it doesn't look silly. I'm sure it would go a long way, and they're pretty cheap to get. Well, all right. I'll take your word for it. We sure talk about fashion a lot, though. Is that really all everything's about these days? Of course not. What do you want to know about? What's YOLO mean? I've heard the term thrown around recently. That was like 5 years ago. Oh. Mr. Ferris and I talk more about contemporary urban slang until we arrive at our stop. That is hilarious. Art. Mr. Idekin had just started talking about our first project for the class. As soon as he'd said the word, Olivia's hand had shot up. Her gray eyes sparkled in excitement, and a smile threatened to crush the perpetual frown etched on her snout. She's so happy. Oh my gosh. The girl vibrates in her seat as she waves her arms in the air, trying to get the teacher's attention. Idekin's own smile was strained as he and Olivia engaged in a staring contest with one another. I could only marvel at the two as the two argued with each other without a single word. Eventually, Idekin won by turning off the lights and turning on the cheap projector hanging from the ceiling, and playing a safety video about paint that felt far too graphic for a school setting. I don't think I'll be able to eat barbecue for a while. What was in the video? What? Thoroughly defeated, Olivia crosses her arms and pouts in her seat. And that is why we won't be using any of the more exotic materials for any projects, Miss Halford. Maybe I should have just skipped breakfast entirely. I told you not to eat that stuff. I still don't see the problem. Once you've had all the proper safety handling course, in the second semester, you'll be able to use oil-based paints. Until that time, however, all the assignments will require safer supplies. Now, since we pivoted to this, might as well finish the full video. Uh-oh. Look at her face. What is she drinking? The grumpy gator holds a hand to her throat, mumbling to herself as she grabs a metal flask and drinks from it. What is in the flask, y'all? That better be water. That better be water. The entire display from her was mystifying, at odds with how Ben and Liz described Olivia. In fact, it kind of reminded me of me. I can understand why, after all. Idekin is letting Ben and I use some of his equipment in photography. That thrill of experimentation, of new possibilities, no doubt that it brings a creative sparkle to her eyes. Eyes that fill with pure malice as they glare daggers my way. Oh my gosh. Oh, was I staring? Oops. Before I could offer an apology, she already had her hands on the wheels. She rolls up to Idekin's desk. He leans forward intently. I can't make out anything that's said through the video, but going by the occasional glare back, it's not hard to imagine. Crap, I really didn't mean to offend. Idekin notices I'm watching and motions for me to come forward. Slowly, I shift out of my seat and approach the desk. All right, is something going on here? Idekin speaks in a hushed tone, just loud enough for me to hear over the makeshift matinee. Olivia's telling me you're making goofy faces at her? No, I said he's been staring at me all through class. Huh? It's weird, like he's never seen someone like me. Can't you move him to a different seat? Now, hold on a sec there, Olivia. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm sure there's just a misunderstanding. Mr. Idekin, it's like she's a different person here. She fishes out a canteen of water and brings it to her mouth. You're giving a lot of leeway when it comes to seat assignment, but asking for something like this? I just want him to leave me alone. She sips again. What's that about? Well then, Inko, you tell us. What's on your mind? Can't have disagreements between classmates this early in the year. I'm confused. I didn't know there was any disagreement between us. Well, sometimes it's the little things. you do that you don't even think about that affect people the most? Anything like that come to mind? I shake my head. Olivia's glare doesn't diminish away from my field of view. I mean, I've been a bit curious about her since we sit next to each other, and I'm friends with some of her friends. We all sat together at lunch yesterday. Etiken nods to himself thoughtfully. Sounds like he just wants to hang out, Olivia. Her face scrunches at the mere thought. Ugh, not really interested. He's distracting me from classwork. I want to watch the video without being gawked at. Sorry, I didn't mean it. Does that resolve the issue for you, Olivia? No, I don't want somebody in this class. Oh my gosh. She goes to take another sip, but ends up turning the canteen upside down. Oops, all out. Olivia, you can go fill that up if you want. You won't be missing anything. The video's nothing you don't already know, I'm sure. Olivia eyes me suspiciously and slowly moves out the door towards the nearest water fountain. Etiken sighs. All right. He leans back in his chair with his arms resting behind his head. Inko, I told you yesterday in the heirs needs clearing to do it yourself. Yeah, he did. Now she's in a mood because you were staring at her like a weirdo. And here, I thought you two were getting along. She even gave me, okay. I promise I can read, I promise. And here I thought you two would get along. She even gave you that sketch she made of you. Truthfully, I'm impressed, but here we are. What's going on, big guy? Again, sorry. It's been a pretty busy few days. Yeah, I've gotten into a cool friend group where all sit together at lunch. Olivia's there too. She didn't say much, but I got her a soda. Don't know why she's so upset at me. It's nothing personal, Inko. It's not? She what? What is that word? Reticent? Especially when it comes to change. I don't know is that like resistant or hesitant? Maybe that's another way of saying it. That's how I'm interpreting. If you're at her lunch period too, I can see why she'd be wary of you. If you don't mind me asking, Mr. Etiken. Yes? Why is she so open with you? How do you mean? Just now, she spoke more in that conversation than all the other times I've seen her yesterday. I saw the canteen, I figured it's something to do with her voice, but it's surprising. Her water bottle's the other way around. It's unfortunate, but she just really rarely talks at all. And I guess she just really trusts me. I've known her since she was a freshman. She seemed to gravitate toward art and how I taught it, and soon enough, I took her under my wing. But she lives with Damien, right? He's at the lunch table and she still barely talks to him. Poor kid. Hope he's doing all right. He seems to be all right. But yeah, she's distant to everyone else. So much so, I keep hearing weird things about her. Etiken leans forward in his chair, suddenly attentive. Is this about you gossiping with Ben yesterday? A bit. He showed up to the table and said something about her being the same after she left. Probably some drama there, but I don't want to pry. He nods. But also, Liz told me some weird things too. He stops nodding. I know of her. Is something wrong? No. She just said I shouldn't get invested in being her friend. Everyone's being real weird about it, so I was curious for myself. Guess that's why I was looking at her weird. Sorry. Etiken rubs his temples. Yeah. It's worse than I thought. What is? I'll put it this way. You've met 3 people that know Olivia, other than me. Of the three, only one thinks highly of her, and the other two start unloading drama on anyone willing to listen. In this case, you. No wonder you're confused. I hadn't thought of it like that. I don't blame you. You shouldn't be involved in anything stupid. High schoolers, you know? I guess. Anakin inhales, collecting his thoughts. Important question then. Do you really want to be Olivia's friend? Huh? I mean, I guess. A judging eyebrow is raised my way. Okay? He's like, don't act like you want to be her friend and you don't really want to be her friend. Don't do it just because you're curious, right? Are you really? Or just curious about her? Right, exactly. He seems pretty serious about this. Yes, then? Olivia returns to class and rolls right back up to the desk. Back? Have you changed his desk yet? Anakin nudges his head towards me expectantly, prodding me on. I'm sorry I distracted you during class, Olivia. She looks to Anakin and gets a similar nod. Sure. I mean, you're welcome. I mean, thanks. Shoot. But, no, really, I don't want to be distracted. Come on now, Olivia. The least you can do is give him another chance. You never know. I don't really want to know. I get he's like friends with Damien, but I don't really want to, you know? Not in this class. But I'd like to be your friend. She stops and raises an eyebrow. Lots of those going around recently. Like she was expecting this response. She looks to Anakin for help. Actually, Olivia, I also think he'd make a good friend for you. Interesting. He's co-signing me. Look at her. She's like, what? What? His words were like a battering ram. I'm simply saying to give Incohere a chance. I could almost see the imagery bulwark she hid behind slowly crumbling from what Anakin was saying. You are both quite similar at heart, though you may have different methods. Perhaps you'll find some compromise behind cynicism and naivete if you work together. Finally, the last fragments of her imaginary fortress collapse. Olivia, can you only look at the art teacher with timid confusion painted across her features? Why did I say it like that? Like it was a question. It wasn't a question, it's a statement. Let me do it again. Finally, the last fragments of her imaginary fortress collapse. Olivia can only look at the art teacher with timid confusion painted across her features. There we go. Well, I don't... Are you for real, Mr. Anakin? I am. He's actually in another class of mine. I've seen him. He's passionate about his camera, like you are with your brush. And I do expect great things from him. Okay. Sorry, I really thought, Oh. Oops, she accidentally bit her tongue. Her mouth is clamped shut. It's just my opinion. You can make your own choices, Olivia. She nods furiously. Oop, the movie's about to end. You two should get back to your seats. We good here? Olivia side-eyes me again and nods once more. All right. He motions for us to skedaddle. Olivia backs away to her spot. Thanks, Mr. Anakin. For what? I gave me an opinion. I'm serious. It's up to the two of you if you want to be friends. Don't screw it up. He waves me off again and gets up to flip the lights. I get back to my seat and stare absent-mindedly at the projected screen as I digest Anakin's words. He said he only gave his opinion, but it seems like he also gave me an opportunity to take the right steps in connecting with Olivia. And with that he said about her being passionate with a brush, it's got me even more curious about her artistic prowess. Speaking of whom, I notice that she occasionally gives me a side eye. I don't think she can see my eyes due to the dim lighting combined with my shades. She stares at me with a sense of strange curiosity, almost as if she's trying to get a read of me from my face alone. But from what I can tell by her facial cues, she seems confused and almost shaken up. It's like she wants to say something but keeps on backing away at the last second. Guess her mind is also jostling around from Idekin's words. Her teacher flicks the light switch, and I feel my retina burn from the bright lamp lights, even with my sunglasses. Alright, normally in your first week, we'd be doing something simple, like a color swatch wheel. However, I think you all could manage something a bit more advanced. The Gator girl's head whipped around at the word advance. Whatever Olivia was thinking before regarding me seems to be forgotten, as she focuses almost entirely on the teacher. Mr. Idekin holds up a stack of paper for us to see. First things first, I'd like for you all to fill out these topic sheets so that I know you understand how to safely handle oil-based paints. Look at her face. Last thing we need is another burnt down classroom. The way Idekin says those words makes me imagine some pretty horrible outcomes. Once you finish your sheets, bring them to me so I can review them. I'll be giving you the permission sheet after I know you lot won't set yourselves on fire or poison yourselves. The Allosaur guy in front of me hands back the stack, and I take a page from it before handing the rest to the Diplo girl behind me. My eyes scan over the sheet. What grade of mask do snouts longer than 3 inches require? And a realization hits me. I didn't see the first half of the video. My eyes scan over the page and I groan when I see questions I have no answers for. All of them pertaining to dinosaur anatomy. The art teacher looks directly at me and then to the side. I try to decipher his meaning following his eyes. Oh! I turn my seat and lean closer to Olivia. Hey, what? What now? What? What is it? I'm not gonna let you draw me. What the heck? Looking at her paper, I see that she's already answered the questions. I couldn't. I show her my own page, tapping the upper section that was still blank. Olivia groans and looks to Attican pleadingly. All she gets for her troubles is a thumbs up. Fine. Fine. Here. She holds out her sheet for me. Wait, isn't this cheating? The art teacher wouldn't. When did he get to his desk? Why does he have a sleeping mask? If I look over the answers, I still learn the safety procedures. It's true. So what's the difference in the end? That must be what he's thinking. Either that or he doesn't care. I copy the words from Olivia's sheet, doing my best to at least rephrase them. Some of my classmates are already walking up to Attican's desk. He's barely reading the pages, not even taking the sleeping mask off. Thanks, Olivia. Whatever. Olivia finishes her page in a few seconds and wheels herself to the desk too. The last answer I'm fairly confident on. Like what flashpoint means. I get up and go to Idekin's desk and set my safety assessment down. Good. Here's your permission slip to use hazardous paints. He didn't even bother to look over my worksheet. He lifts the eye mask from his desk and looks at me with one eye. Oh, what? Most of the stuff doesn't apply to you, Inko. Just don't drink the paint or get it in your eyes and you'll be okay. Yes, Mr. Idekin. Attaboy. Now go back to your desk and wait for class to end. Tomorrow I'll be starting you all on something simple. Like painting a cube or a ball. Yeah, Model dodgeball painting. Oh gosh, no more dodgeball. The eye mask drops down and I return to my seat. The class clock reads 5 minutes until lunch. Olivia's back to leering at me. I consider what I should do or say, some sort of icebreaker. Mr. Atkins said we're similar, and I can see some of what he means. But I'm a photographer and she's a painter. So a cubist and a dadaist walk into a bar. Bing bang. Have a good lunch now. The moment the bell rings, Olivia shoves most of her things into her backpack, not caring if her notebook gets crushed. Once she zips up, she races out of the classroom. Guess she doesn't want to get caught in the chaos of the lunchroom stampede.